Hi everybody. Today we're going to show you the installation process for Cohler Classical. This assumes you've already installed REAPER. So all you do is you come to the Cohler Classical homepage at kohlerclassical.com, click on Try Now. That brings you to the download page. Now, before you install, there's an important note here with 3 exclamation points. If you already have an installation of REAPER that you've customized, do not install Cohler Classical on top of it because you won't be able to uninstall it. Instead, you create a separate, fresh, portable install of REAPER and install Cohler Classical there. That way you can have your 2 separate versions, the Cohler Classical version and your other customized version. To learn how to do that separate portable install of REAPER, there's a link here. Click here for a complete explanation and video of the portable install process. That's very simple, only takes a minute or 2. But if you haven't done that, then do that and then install Cohler Classical on top of that fresh installation. Okay, so here we go. This whole Cohler Classical install process only takes about 2-3 minutes. We click Download Now. That brings you to the license agreement. You read the license agreement, and at the bottom you click Accept for Windows or Mac, depending on what you're on. I'm on a Mac here, so I'm going to click Accept. When I click Accept, it's going to download that into my Downloads folder, so I click Save. That puts the zip in my Downloads folder. Now, on the Mac, I just click to unzip it. On the PC, when you click it, you then have to do an extract command. So it's essentially the same, just one extra step. So it now extracted. On the Mac, I have what's called a DMG, which is a disk image. I'm going to double click this. On the PC, it will have extracted all the files into a regular folder at that point. On the Mac, I double click this, and that's going to mount that disk image, which has all the installation files right there. So I'm ready to install now. On Windows, you'd have all these files sitting in a directory. But now we go over to REAPER, which I've already got running here. So there's my fresh installation of REAPER 6.36, licensed for personal small business use. Totally vanilla REAPER, fresh from the REAPER website. Now I go through the process. Actions list, show action list, which you can also do by typing question mark. Now we're going to load an action into this list. To do that, we click the New Action button. In old versions of REAPER, there was a load button here, but now it's New Action. And then we go down to Load Rescript. Now we go and find the disk image that I created, or in the case of Windows, find the folder where you loaded the Cohler Classical files. There's the disk image. And in that directory is a file called install_Mac, or in the case of Windows, install_Win. We select that, click Open. That puts that script into the action list here, and it's already selected. So now we click Run. This now installs some files. It may ask you for a password, so you're going to enter a password. It's going to warn you on the Mac if you need to authorize certain extensions. So you can read that screen where it says important, read this carefully. In my case, I'm not going to need to do that. On some Mac systems, you will need to authorize all the extensions one by one, so you just read those instructions. I'm going to click OK. And now you get to the configurations folder, and there is the new config zip that it's just loaded. So now we're going to open that. Select it, open. It asks if we want to import the configuration. Click OK. It shows us what it's about to import. You just click Import. That's loading up all the Cohler Classical stuff. It then launches REAPER, and then we'll reboot REAPER. So it launches it once, closes it, now it's rebooting. And once it restarts REAPER, it'll start the licensing process. The first question it'll ask is if you want to install a trial license. And you can see here it says Cohler Classical 2.2M is installed, but you need a license. So to install the trial license, you would just click Yes here. Then you would enter all your information, name, etc. With the phone number, make sure you put a plus sign and the country code first. enter all your information, click OK. My information's already entered because I already have a trial license set up Once you set it up, it pulls it from the database. You click OK, and there the license has been added. You click OK, it will then show you the license, so you can see all the details of the license, your address, the system that you're on, when you licensed it, etc., what type of license. You click OK. You'll then get an email message from our system. And now you can see it says Cohler Classical 2.2M trial expires in 7 days, 10 hours, 2 minutes, because I previously installed this trial license. If it's a fresh trial license, you'll have 14 days. So that's it. You're up and running. Cohler Classical is installed. That's all there is to it. Now, if instead you had chosen to install a license code, it would give you just a slightly different screen. So I'll show you that very quickly. I'll go to Options, License, and uninstall my current trial license. Okay, so it's uninstalled. Now I'll say no to the trial license. Then it will ask you, do you want to install a license code? If you have a license code, you click yes. If you don't have one yet, it'll ask you, do you want to buy a license code? Installing the license code is just as simple. You click yes here. You enter your license code here, your username, and your password. The username and password you created when you purchased the license code. And you click OK, and the rest of it's the same. So that's all there is to it. And if you don't have a license code and you don't want to install the trial license, you just keep saying no, 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 I don't want to purchase, and you can exit the program. But if you want to purchase it, that's the third choice. You click yes to purchase the license code. That will immediately take you to the screen on the Cohler Classical site where you can register and purchase a license code, which is also the Buy Now tab. So that's all there is to installing Cohler Classical. Takes 2 minutes. Just make sure don't install it on top of a REAPER system that you've highly customized, because if you decide that you want to take Cohler Classical out, the best way to do that is to just install a fresh REAPER system. You can always copy your settings over, but always install Cohler Classical on top of a fresh REAPER system, not on top of one that you've highly customized. So that's all there is to installing Cohler Classical.